Hey guys, William Murfitt here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. So, this is going to be part number 2 on Gemma's Mini. And today I'm going to empty the inside of the car out, try and assess what's there, have a look and see if there's anything I can fit now. Stuart's working on repairing the loom, and there's a couple of other jobs he's doing as well. So, first thing I just picked out is the scuttle section. Now there's no wiring goes inside there, so I can get that back in. That can go in before the screen goes in. With that fitted onto the dashboard, then it kind of gets things started. I know the loom has to go along the roof and down the A-pillars, so I can't do too much because I don't know if it goes on the driver's side or the passenger side. But I need to do a bit of research and such like first. Couple of bits inside the in the car I can see. Got the grille, front panel, some door rubbers, which the door rubbers can go on. Doors can be built up. This one here, I've already got the glass in, so I didn't do that. That was done with Nick. And just looking over the car, and I can see a few bits and pieces that I'd like to get sorted before I do anything on the car. So let's have a quick look round. Now I've had a bit of time to sort of digest the car and get a bit of a plan together. So I don't know how well you can see, but there's a fair amount of peeling in the roof, and you come into the pillars. There's a couple of runs and such like. So I'm not sure how clear that's going to be. There's a fair amount of orange peel across the paint. And you're coming down into the A-pillars. You can see there's some pretty big runs and stuff like that. So I should be able to flatten that out with a 2000 grit and just go over that. Well, the last thing I want to do is to polish through any areas, so it's going to have to be done by hand. There's a couple of areas like this. There's a few bits of dirt in the paint like so. You can see, probably see quite a lot here. A bit peely. I don't know how far I went with the Raptor, but I know there was quite a bit of the car that was raptored and then flatted. So there's an element that is going to need attention. The roof again is pretty peely. The doors, the whole car is a bit needs a bit of TLC to go over. One thing they did do was they did raptor the joints, try and get a bit of extra protection there. I think we might struggle getting the side trims on, but we can see about that. There's a couple of little areas on the roof, say that I've got a bit of dirt in the paint, which should mostly flat out, mostly polish out. As you go through, you can just see the bit of peel. Same for the back. He has painted over a few clips, which makes life a little bit challenging. And then the boot was fitted on. I need to adjust that door handle because that's currently locked. The rear window is in, but I'll have to come back out to fit the roof lining. So I can probably get, once the rear loom is here, I can get the loom fitted in, I can get the fuel tank fitted in, rear lights fitted up, back bumpers, number plates, actually build up pretty much the rear of the vehicle. And then I can adjust the ride height of the suspension because that's a little bit low in the rear, quite high in the front. It has got adjustables all round. And yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting build to have raptored, and again the parcel shelf all inside's been raptored as well, so there's been a fair amount of product used on the vehicle to make sure it's right. But I am stuck until I can get the wiring loom and the roof lining. So today is going to be a case of just going through, seeing what's what, seeing where we're at, to emptying the inside of the car and then sorting a plan, a bit more organisation. And yeah, hopefully I can need to tidy this mess here as well so I can get more access around. The idea is to get the car up onto stands, with the car on stands, and I can have full access around underneath, and I'm not restricted by anything. Underneath, once car's in the air, I can do fuel lines and brake lines. I have built the subframes up, so the subframes are pretty much ready to just be connected up, which is good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm pretty happy with overall. Yes, it's going to take a bit of time to sort these little snags out, I've got to do it in between work and family stuff and suffering massively with hay fever. So I'm going to get this cleaned up for my first job, get that placed in, and then I can start progressing step by step and see how we get on. My poor car. I need to get this finished soon so my mini can come back in. Bless it. Let's get cracking. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the door rubbers on because they pretty much don't need to come back off other than the top level when I put the roof lining in. Now the old roof lining is here. It's not in bad condition. I think they've bought a new one. I've got the trim pieces which I'm going to take out and we're going to get new ones of them if I've got haven't got a full set. I know some of them are broken. I do have another set in the loft which I don't know if they're broken as well. I have to go up there and get them. So yeah, door rubbers on, so at least when the doors open and close they're not going to cause any damage. And then when we get the car up in the air, get it supported, get the inside hoovered out, start putting some of this dead Matte Pro on the inside of the quarter panels. That door's obviously been fitted up already. Inside of this door, quarter panel, some bits on the roof, a couple of pieces on the floor, and then there's a roll of underseal as well, which I'll cut to size. But yeah, it's looking pretty nice. There is a couple of things. There's the bracket that holds the steering column on. It's got a couple of broken studs in there, so I need to take that off, try and work out how to fix that. If not, I'll replace that. Floor bungs need to go in. The bung for the steering rack filler needs to go in. And yeah, lots of things to do. Let's just trying to work out what's the best plan of action and what the best way to do it is. I can't build the doors up fully because the door trims are getting, or the door cars get relined. So that's one thing I can sort of build up. I can put the handles on loosely so I can get the doors open and closed and get the windows in and out. Window rubbers are already fitted in. Trims can go on, windows in, blocks off to the point where door cards can go on. So I think that's what I'll do today, is get the door frames sorted, door window regulators in. At least that's a job done. Oh dear. Got an idea. Out of sight, out of mind. screens out. I'm just cleaning inside this channel because it's had some sort of sealer in it. I'm not sure if we're going to be replacing this or reusing these. I kind of feel like we should replace them, but it's not my car, so I'm just going to have a chat with them and see what they want to say. But this is all the stuff that I've actually taken out of it. You can see it's all pretty disgusting. But it cleans up quite nicely. So I'm just going to hoover up this parcel shelf, hoover up the floor, and I can start fitting in bits and pieces inside the car, like handbrake. The cables are already there anyway. And yeah, we're getting there. So the door is on, it's looking good. Windows out. Front and rear rubbers are on, even though they need to come back off. I've put them on so that I'm not damaging things as I'm leaning over or leaning through. The side quarter windows are going to come back out as well to do the roof lining, but the doors were open for that, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, it's a bit of a long process then. I'm a little bit stuck on what I can and can't do at the moment because I'm still waiting for the loom, I'm still waiting for bits and pieces. So I'm trying to do the bits now to save myself a bit of work going forward. So Stu has provided this Dead Mat Pro. Now this is a bit like Silent Coat or does Undersill. So basically you peel the back off and you heat it up a little bit and you stick it to the car. I've started doing a few. So I've got one inside there. I'm gonna have one that side. I've got one on the back of the seat here. I'm gonna have one over here as well. And I've got one up on the roof. Now, basically, what you want to be able to find is, at the moment, it's very loud. I want to put the silent coat on. It's a bit more of a hollow, a bit more of a solid, less hollowy noise. And it removes, I think it's called reverberation. And it's really good. It's a good way of obviously reducing and sound deadening your vehicle. Now you don't have to go overkill with this. It's quite heavy, so I think you know, one of those pads is probably similar weight to maybe a mobile phone. So yeah, one pad there, one pad there, one there, one there. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 on the roof, and I'm going to get one in the centre of each floor pan. That should, in theory, be enough. In this green roll here, I have a roll of stuff that I can cut to size, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that will help to reduce any sound and vibrations and just make it a bit more pleasant inside. And this is one thing I didn't do properly on my Brown Mini, which I really wish I had done, because it's a little bit drony and a little bit echoey inside when this stuff here could really help. So, let's get sticking. So there we go, one on the side, one on the rear, 2 on the rear, 2 on the side. You hear that's quite hollow, as opposed to the dull. And I've got 6 on the roof now. You're still always going to have a bit unless you cover the whole thing, in which case it makes it very heavy and very expensive. I have one, well, I've got a whole pack left of them, so I'm thinking of putting maybe one here, one here. I'm actually cut it and put it inside the recess here. Same the other side. These are quite hollow, but see what happens is when you have a bend in a panel, it adds strength. But well, here you've got a big flat panel. You can see inside the door, you've got an original heat shield or original sound deadening sheet in there. So big panels obviously have big ripples going across them, big sounds. The smaller ones can be sort of almost disguised. So anyway, I'll keep going. I have to set my phone on charge now because I'm using my camera. My GoPro's at work, and I have like 5% battery. So I'm going to carry on with this. I will come back in a minute once I've done, and then give you a quick tour, and then that's kind of pretty much where I can stop. I need the wiring loom. I need to make brake lines, fuel lines. I need the interior. The seat belts could probably go in, but it's just the more I put in now, I need to make sure it's not going to come back out afterwards, because I don't want to duplicate work. I need to get some putty for the door, as I say. Lots to do. So yeah, put the phone down and I will be back shortly. That seems like a convenient stopping point. I don't know how much you can hear because it is absolutely pelting down with rain still. It has been non-stop all day. But I suppose I can't grumble too much because we have had a few weeks of very, very nice weather. So, let me show you what I've done. I've done a little bit more than what I was expecting to do off camera. So the best thing to do is just get stuck in. So starting at the back of the vehicle, the boot seal is on. And I put a little strip of sound deadening up here as well to try and reduce the noise of that panel. Obviously the glass was popped out earlier. I need to wait for some putty. The door seals are on. I've done a panel in each of the flitches, one across the toe board, 2 in the footwell, 4 in the back footwell, 2 in the rear seat, and 1 each side. I've glued on the side trim, put on the door cards, and on the roof I've got the roof lining together. Now these 2 middle straps, they're both white, they broke. I wanted to try and work out what I have and what I haven't got. This is from the original car, these blades. So I need to get 2 white ones. Hopefully I have them in the loft, so I'm going to go up there now. But what I've done was, I was only going to put 4 originally, but I put 3 and 3, and then I cut them in half to get 2 little ones. And it's absolutely solid. So I've got the landing strip down the middle, and that's pretty much where I got up to. Just coming around the front, I decided to have a little go at some of the paintwork, and as you can see, I don't know how well it's going to come out on camera. This one here, obviously, is very glossy. This is very hazy. I've sent a 2500 grit to sand this down. I've sanded down the run, and unfortunately, it went through slightly here. There's not a lot of paint on this this area of the car, but that can just be touched in afterwards. But the run is gone, so that's good. Got a few more bits and pieces, as you can see. There's quite a big scab there, and there's little scabs here and there. And as you go across the panel, you can see those shiny spots are imperfections, but it's not going to be perfect, unfortunately. But I do want to get it to as nice condition as possible. When Gemma gets the car back, she's going to be very, very happy with it. So yeah, that one's pretty much sanded down. What I'm going to do is do 1 panel at a time. I'm going to sand it, I'm going to polish it, I'm going to buff it, and hopefully I can get all the orange peel out and it be a lot more presentable and ready for when Gemma comes and sees the car for the first time. And that's kind of where I've got to. Till I get bits, this build series is going to be a little bit here and there. But I want to kind of take you along on the journey and show you what I've been up to and what I'm doing. And hopefully we can get this sorted pretty quickly. Obviously, for reasons that I don't want that car outside for very much longer. I have, however, been offered today some storage free of charge, which is awesome. So I'm going to potentially take that up just to get the car out and off the drive and safely parked away. So I spoke to Stu today about a couple of bits and pieces I've seen in the car that I'm just going to get him to have a look at. And quite frankly, that's a wrap. Yeah, episode 2, completed it, mate. Hopefully in the next episode I will have the wiring loom. and then we can start feeding the loom through. We can get the roof lining fitted. I did receive a message from Stu to say he has new front dampers. He's got the bungs for the floor. He has the roof lining. He has the from the dashboard back of the loom, and I'm hoping he has the rear lights as well, because I was going to get them fitted up, but I couldn't find them. But I think I've made a good start. It's not a huge amount of work completed, but it is a start nevertheless. So I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go in and set me some food for the kiddos and my wife, and Sunday, who knows. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you can continue to follow me on this journey of trying to get this car sorted, and if you have enjoyed this content, please consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. As I say, this one's a little bit slow, but hopefully when I start getting stuck into it, it should hopefully come together quite quickly, and there'll be a bit more content per video. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.